This is the brain trust.
Oh, man, dude.
This is a totally different level of podcasting.
Wait, why? Why is it the brain trust?
Well, the brain trust because, us bringing in
Big brains.
big brains. Because I don't know.
Dylan lags.
Based on the fact, Dylan isn't here. So I was like, who can I bring in who's, a good Dylan equivalent? And everybody said you were the third Straley.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Is this a compliment?
Yes.
I don't know. My dad is like that Jake guy.
This is the triplet I never had.
That right there is a badge of honor.
Yeah. The Zach Straley.
Here's the third son I wanted.
Yeah.
In fact, I wish he had said that about me instead, so I'm a little jealous.
Now, how does Silas feel about people say, "Oh, it's like a third Straley"? You've had a third Straley on the podcast.
There is a
Did they
third
not notice
Straley
that?
boy.
And a fourth,
Yeah, we actually have had
have two
5
siblings,
Straleys
so.
on the show in total. But yeah, no, I think it was just, I think you guys, you were just hitting us on the same level, which wasn't the case for, Silas, he's too much of a well-adjusted human being.
Yeah, he's a little too normal.
Normal.
I mean, this is why we have a friendship, is because we have strange interests. That,
Yeah.
align.
This kind of makes me think about when we became friends, because you were like that weird and intimidating Origin story. Guys, this is why you listen to the Brain Trust. This is for the lore. the lore.
The deep lore.
Yeah,
The fluff.
well, because you showed up and I remember you coming back to school and you were like a great musician and you were older than all of us, and I was like, oh my gosh, this, I
had a beard.
Yeah, and I'd heard all these like stories of rabble rousing, and I was like, I don't know if I could ever really vibe with this guy. And then I think we just decided we were going to play.
board games, dude.
Somebody told me you played board games.
Dylan.
And we played Pandemic Zero.
No, it was Dylan, dude.
Yeah.
I was outside. I was outside the lib, and Brennan and Jimmy, and Dylan came out, and we were, I knew you guys. We were shooting it, and I was like, he's like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play. I got a new board game," and he was like, "Oh, really?" And I had no ideas that you guys were.
Yeah.
big
And that was
fan
Blood
nerds either.
Rage, right?
No, it was Scythe.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
Scythe. Yeah.
And I think I was the one who came over to play Scythe. Dylan didn't play
I
Scythe.
think you both came,
Really?
and you both complained about it. I think.
That sounds right.
You both came
next
over
up-
and were like, "Actually, I hate this game, but I guess I'll play."
We're gonna play. Yeah. Not a huge Scythe fan, and that's something that I don't know. Maybe we can, we can talk about on the Brain Trust. Who knows?
We could do a live play.
The live play. We could. Okay,
it out.
guys.
Get it
Yeah.
out. Let's
Actually,
do it.
I don't have a copy of Scythe. Dylan has a copy, I think. I know.
You guys
have
do have a copy because
Yeah.
you told me you had a copy.
in the basement.
Unless you sold it.
Yeah. See, I don't get to keep all that stuff. I keep all the role playing games. That's my haul.
Wow, beautiful.
Yes. So what's new, dude?
Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
I had to go get some lasagna noodles for my wife, and on the way over, I was like, I didn't invite anyone, and I was like, man, it's been 2 weeks since I've been on. I have nothing new to talk about. I was like starting to sweat. I was like, what am I going to do? This is the big episode. This is episode 20.
So-
So big 2-0.
Yeah.
You've just been watching Alien over and over again? Is that all it's been?
I do have some new things, but it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
And I do have actually a new monomaniacal obsession, which we can talk about.
Yeah.
It's a loose obsession. It's going to be very disappointing for this podcast. I have just been doing sort of the same stuff, but I drove by it. So there's this dude, Aaron, this homeless dude. He's the guy who's always standing out by Burger King.
Oh yeah, with the pictures of Jesus.
Well, it's a Bible,
Yeah.
with like a really gaudy cover of Jesus, and I was
Yeah.
like, this
Yes.
man is obsessed with Jesus. He would
Yeah.
be perfect for Monomaniacs. So I was like,
Just like, hey, you, get in
I
the car.
pulled up, and I
You want a
talked to him
beer? Get in
before.
the car.
Yeah. So you actually pulled up?
Yeah, I pulled up, got out of the car, went to talk to him. I was like,
Yeah.
Aaron's good to see you again. We met before. My name's Jake. I'd like given him my number before.
Yeah.
I was like, hit me up. He needed a shower.
Yeah.
And he tried to explain. I was like, you know what a podcast is? He's like, nah. He does not know what a podcast is. I was like, it's a radio show.
Blessed are the pure in heart.
Yeah.
I was like, well, count yourself lucky.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't know what a podcast is. And told him it was like a radio show. And I was like, how do I explain this ridiculous show to someone who's not like, 25 years old and spends way too much time on the internet? I was like, you just like talk about things that you're like really into and, kind of like obsessed with. And I'm sitting here with your Bible. I was like, you want to come on the show and like talk about your experiences?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah. And let me tell you why. And he goes on.
Wait, has he been burned?
Well, not on a podcast, clearly. But, no. I think he really misunderstood what I was trying to get out of the podcast.
Yeah.
So first thing he's like, I've been in Hillsdale for 30 years. And he's like, no one cared about me.
Yeah.
He's like, because I was a black man and like, no one ever recognized me or talked to me. And he's like, recently people are trying to like put me on a pedestal, because I'm black. He's like, people are always coming up to me. And it was a good reason because he was like, I'm the same as anyone else. You can't put me on a pedestal. He's like, that's what they did to Johnny Cash. That's not me. And I'm not going to go on those radio shows.
Same thing.
Yeah.
He thought I was like trying to like build him up into a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, I just, I thought you could share the gospel. And he made up his point. So he just kind of, some people just like keep talking.
Yeah.
So, and then he wanted to ride to Rite Aid. So
you gave him a ride to Rite Aid.
Yeah, he's like, I need something. I was like, okay.
Well, there you go.
Rite Aid.
Isn't that right across the street?
It is. He's got a bad leg.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. No.
So he commutes to the outside the Burger King. Hopefully. Yeah.
So I'm really bummed. I really thought Aaron would be.
I'm sure you'd have
hot pick.
That would have been a lot. That would have been a wild.
Would have been fire if Aaron was here with us.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so great. I was like, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the episode.
Yeah.
2-0.
No, I can understand that though, because I mean, especially now that he's sort of.
Especially if you don't know what a podcast is.
Yeah. Well, and now he's a public guy in a certain respect, in that everybody
Everyone
knows who he is.
Public.
Everyone's
figure on Wikipedia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how you guys promote the show. Just stand outside Burger King next to Aaron every day.
I feel like that would actually just be, speaking poorly on his name to do that, though.
That's his turf.
To Jimmy what he's got going
anyway,
on.
Aaron,
go down to Wendy's and do
yeah. Wendy's would be totally a different story.
You get a lot at McDonald's. I can't believe how popular McDonald's is, guys.
Well, it's because
sucks.
they hire all the good employees there, which is why their employees are here. The fries are hot, they're fast, and you go to Burger King, and I don't want to
just don't go to
disparage
Burger
anybody.
King. There's other options.
Yeah, you just don't go to fast food.
Aaron's out there. He's repping the brand.
Yeah.
Aaron's the only draw to Burger King.
Yeah.
That's why people go there.
He's a sandwich board man, but for a very specific type of reactionary who's like a Christian black man. I can eat at Burger King.
So anyway,
King.
it's disappointing. That's why I'm late.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. That's totally an explanation.
So maybe the problem and maybe the purpose of the brain trust is to unpack the problems with Monomaniacs.
It's true. This is us speaking outside of the system into it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know what my recent monomaniacal obsession has been?
Yeah. Is it
on the house?
podcasting? No.
It's the podcast Monomaniacs by Dylan and Shadrach Strehle. I came on, and I had not listened to any of the episodes.
Okay.
I started your first episode, and I got done, and I was like, I should probably see how Luke and DJ did. And I should probably listen to Luke and DJ.
Which is a great episode.
It does. I mean, honestly,
they did all right.
S tier episode.
But not S plus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, they're great.
This isn't Dante Must Die difficulty.
No, it was awesome too because it's like, hey, I hold it. Why is it gotta be up here, dude?
You can hold it down. I think.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
It's not, no, but it's got. I have to be in it. you
Yeah.
know? I listened to my episode and I was like, you gotta make me eat the mic.
You have to eat the mic.
You really need to tell
You have
people
to
that
kiss it.
before they come on. You
It
need
bought
to
you
be
a
in
steak dinner. It's the least you could do.
So anyway, I was like, I'm fine. I guess I'm just gonna listen to these episodes, and I finally listened to the episodes. Just some shocking truths, some things I didn't know, happening in the show before I got on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We can unpack that. Real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Jamie, it's not your name.
Josh.
Josh?
My name?
Yeah.
Josh.
That's a joke.
Dylan calls you Jamie the
Oh,
whole time. I was like, who is Jamie?
It's a Joe
I'm only-
Rogan joke.
It's
Oh.
yeah, it's a Rogan joke because his
I'm not
producer
pop
is
culture.
Yeah.
young Jamie. I was like, did Coonradt just forget my name?
No, I was like, why is he?
Yeah, no, because
I'm Jamie if I'm over there.
Okay.
Over here,
Oh,
I
you're
used to be Josh.
different
Jamie's
persona.
the name of the producer,
Okay.
so he's on periodically, and so he's always pulling stuff up.
Yeah.
So whenever
Yeah. It's
the
on the
joke
hey,
is
I
that
thought-
Jamie, pull that up.
the joke is it's obviously Josh
Okay.
can't actually pull anything up.
Right.
So we're you say Jamie pull that up.
That's a good joke. I get it now.
Okay, cool.
Hey, good job, guys.
All right, how else can I explain the show?
Let's
some other things.
unpack
Okay,
this
there's
more.
a couple
Yeah.
things that keep coming up. British television. You guys keep talking about how they cut British television at one season.
That's Dylan. Dylan keeps talking.
Dylan
Well,
hits
Dylan's
Year
into that
Zero
because of
BC,
Abby,
Year
so,
Zero,
yeah.
or the movie Year Zero. Is that what it's called?
Did I mention Year Zero more than once?
3 times, dude. Yeah, 3 times. It comes up in Jane's episode. You guys talk about Year Zero, and then you come
because of
full
Harold
circle.
Ramis.
Yeah, which got butchered a couple times, dude.
Yeah.
Harold Remus or Regan or something. I don't
Ramis. Yeah.
know. So yeah, that happened a couple times.
So you went all the way back to James' episode.
I went back to
Jane's episode. Did you skip backward through, or did you come up?
Well, I hit 8. I listened to Luke and DJ's, and I was like, well,
Okay.
we'll just go through,
Okay.
beginning
Yeah.
to end. Yeah.
Did you hit the anime club yet?
Yeah, hit the anime club,
Okay.
dude.
Wow, you've been hustling.
I don't know why there's so much hate, boys. Why? What's all the hate for Neon, dude? That's a good show. What's all the hate for Neon?
Yeah.
Silas is clearly the patrician in the group.
No, I think that's the big thing is that he's too much of a patrician.
Yeah, he's too patrician for these plebs. This is actually the episode where I'm gonna rate all the other podcasts.
Let's do a
Can we get a
tier list.
whiteboard?
Yeah,
Can I do it like
Yeah, here.
F through S plus tier list?
Yeah.
Let me pull them all up real quick.
I didn't watch your mom's whole episode.
Bummer.
Most watched episode.
Yeah, she kept saying "rip," and it just reminded me of Dylan, and I was like, I don't think I can handle this.
She learned that from Dylan.
I know, obviously. No, he didn't learn it from her.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was a weird experience. So I watched half of hers and skipped. Okay, I didn't understand that I was gonna be. When I came on, I shouted out Joe Papalardo because I just knew he like cared about Morrowind. So that was my shout. I didn't know that it was like he gets like 10 minutes of airtime every episode. I didn't know I was gonna pay lip service to this Joe. Like apparently golden god of comedy that no one knows about. This is like the Papalardo fan cast. You know,
in some ways, it's less of a Papalardo fan cast.
He's paying for it.
Papalardo, he's our top Patreon subscriber, just like for full disclosure. But then also he cares a lot and is constantly texting me about things. And like, so, as far as people interacting with the show, it's like goes him, Danny Wrongley, and like,
parents.
My parents, they don't talk to us about the show. I mean, my dad will say, it's a very good episode.
Really
like that.
Boys.
Really proud of you guys. I really like that Joel Calvert guy. He's a cool guy.
That's the next thing, dude. There's a lot of the Hot Salad Records, Lost Mary thing. Gets mentioned a lot.
That's intentional.
It is cool. I feel like you guys are starting like this sort of like multimedia subcultures.
Yes.
Out of here, like
it's a collective.
I know. Well, no, this is a good idea. Is this the plan? Is it like on your own? None of you guys have good chances of making it.
Yep.
But if you guys all plug each other enough, when like let's say Joe Papa actually makes it big, and people are like, man, he had this big string in like the early episodes of this one podcast. We should all go. We should all listen to it.
I mean, that's part of it. I mean, the thing is that if you can get enough of other guys' moms to listen to your show, eventually you
break the algorithm.
Eventually you break the algorithm.
Welcome to the Momcast.
Okay.
I mean, that's why. It's this fun fact. This is just based off because I'm professionally I edit podcasts for a living. And
you say that every episode, just so you know, dude, because it's fresh in my mind. It's like you forgot. Just hey guys, in case you don't know, he is a professional podcaster.
I'm a bit of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know about a big deal.
And Dylan's in the industry.
Yeah, Dylan's in the industry.
He calls it.
We're actually in the studio currently where he does that all day.
This is the professional studio.
This is
for both sound quality.
We can't show you his desk though because he signed an non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. That's
really intense stuff.
Yeah. But what was I even saying? Oh yeah, it's important. The reason why people have shows that are primarily focused on guests is because of that exact reason.
Really? I thought it was low.
That person's mom will at the very least
Moms
listen.
run the world.
They'll at very least listen to it.
Who run the world?
Moms. Yeah. So I don't know, man. As long as you get enough moms listening to something, and you know what? I mean, Lost Mary right now. Good example. I mean,
they're gonna go big, and man, you guys know that
30,000 listens today,
famous
baby.
music producer Joel W. Calvert was on episode 19. Like, we should check that out.
We should check that out. Yeah. Well, and also, Lost Mary. It's like they were kind of unfiltered on our show, right? So if there's ever people who are kind of, what's the real Lost Mary like? We get the story of them performing surgery on
because their music's not real or raw. It's really cliche, very produced. So if you actually want to know them, you're gonna have to listen to
this podcast. Yeah,
18,
episode 18.
17, episode 17.
Yeah,
episode 17. Yeah, you actually have a better idea of our numerical structure.
I do. So, I mean, I could rate.
There are also some thumbnails either on the YouTube or on the Instagram that have the wrong number on them because of me. So, like currently to this day, there's a little double.
Well, that's something we could easily fix.
Yeah, I just haven't got it.
Edit it.
See, this is why we call him Jamie. He doesn't deserve his name on the air.
No.
We should get him a mic when he's behind because he talks every episode, and there's always this like lull.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, okay. So it was Harold Remus.
we could do that. Actually, I would not abuse my power. I promise.
I think I could trust this man with power.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, appreciate it.
I told him. I said, if he wants a mic for this show. And well, at least he's sitting with us now, so I guess he's a guest.
I have to say,
the other person who will be here wasn't here yet, so I was like, you know what, this is an empty spot. I might as well sit here
if they make an appearance.
We'll see. It might just be me. Sorry.
Now I do. One of my dreams when I started listening to this, and I was like, okay, Josh is the producer. He's in the back because I wanted you to be like this faceless entity for like 400 episodes. And then like 399 episodes, and episode 400 comes up and it's like, it's the big reveal. Jamie's coming out and his name's not even Jamie. Damn.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I don't know.
Didn't work that way. I apologize. Yeah.
It's all right. You swore. The fun thing about the way that you talk.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's awful, first of all.
Well, fun fact about the way that you talk. I listened to the whole episode that you were on twice.
And you couldn't tell where it was.
And to mark every swear.
Find them all.
I couldn't find them all.
I heard many.
It's like
I'm done. I mean, like, I hate my voice so much. Like, most people don't like their voice. I actively hate my voice. It's just like the most nasally Midwest, like,
so that's something that if you've just been on a mic for long enough, though, it just becomes like
you don't care.
syncopated because naturally your brain, what it does is it makes.
No, but I hate my voice in my brain too. When my inner monologue goes, I'm like, oh, it still sounds bad.
This asshole is talking to me right now.
Still going.
So what about your voice when you sing though?
I don't think I'm a very good singer.
You got a cool.
It's different.
Very gravelly.
Yeah.
It's very and the
This is all just like this is all midwit ways to describe it sucking.
No. It's
your
gravelly.
voice is
It's
so
cool.
there's so much texture.
It has character. It has character.
There's just a lot of depth.
I don't know.
Listen,
all on the nose, but it sounds great.
There's some really bad singers out there. I like. I like singing and play music because it's fun. I don't think it's necessarily good, and I think that's all you can do is just like do it because you enjoy it. And if there's someone out there that's your thing, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob Dylan, right? Like, dude sucks, but a lot of people don't consider him to suck. You know? He's poet laureate. All right, so
That's true.
Different strokes, different folks. All we can do is hope that someone out there listens to this podcast and like that is the voice of an angel.
Did you hear that?
I want to fall asleep to that.
Did you hear that Bob Dylan actually plagiarized his acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize?
Shit. Really?
Yeah. He showed up
from
to
who?
From the last Nobel Prize acceptance speech.
No, from Snopes. No, excuse me, not Snopes. From Cliff Notes, the website.
Excuse me?
Like the place where you cheat, like on a paper.
That had
in
to
high
be.
school.
That had to be him, like making a statement.
It might have been because he showed up and was like,
Bob Dylan does not know. He did not go to high school in the era of like someone told him about.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, have you heard of Cliff Notes?
What's the other? What's the other thing that isn't Cliff Notes? It might have been the other one.
Spark Notes.
Spark Notes. It was Spark Notes.
Why would Bob Dylan just be like on Spark Notes? He's not in.
I think
writing high school.
Also, like, did he just look up graduate? Like,
I assume his PR person or somebody wrote him his speech because he was. It was not.
And they ripped it.
Yeah, well, he wasn't riffing at all. He was standing up there with a piece of paper, like a high schooler giving out an award.
Do you think it was a joke? Do you think he was making a statement on like what a joke it was that you made this man a poet laureate?
No,
he's supposed to be like this master of the word.
It's supposed
he didn't write his own speech and being a little lazy.
I think he's undermining, all of the bad press he got when he went electric. You know what I mean? It's like sort of like instead of him going electric, he's going physical because he's got the paper, but then he's also taking it from the internet, which is electric. He's also cheating, which is also electric. So I don't know. Maybe that's it.
I think that's the most poetic thing he's done.
Yeah.
I think with that move, he earned the poet laureate.
Yeah, like a Rolling Stone. Like a Rolling Stone.
Mic drop. All right. Well, that's an episode.
Yeah, there we go. We've done 20 minutes, maybe.
Let's go home.
You can actually drop that mic. That right there's a drop up. I mean,
not the one I'm holding, but
Shad's like, please don't.
Yeah, please don't. I
can bang it around.
Those are tough though.
I did get that for free, so
nice.
Yeah, a friend of mine, old roommate, was a rapper. And he just had an extra
Carrot,
mic.
Dude?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
come on in.
The third member of the Brain Trust has arrived.
Get a picture of him with the carrot in.
Yeah, we gotta get some of this carrot action on camera.
Homie's working on his jaw over here. Dude.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Paladino back in studio for the official Brain Trust episode. How you doing, dude? How was dinner?
No, get in the mic. No one can hear you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it's like I learned this the hard way.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna eat the carrot in the mic.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's important that this is a now an ASMR podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I'll breathe heavily. You eat carrots.
A little bit. You can pull it. You can pull it.
No, I'm working on my
it.
jawline. I didn't want to disappoint anyone who's still following.
Yeah, I found
it. It's funny the amount of people who came up to me after listening to that episode and was like, "Dude, I've been mewing for 3 days."
I listen. I finally listened to it. Could you explain what mewing? How do I do it?
It's just jaw posture. You just take your tongue, tongue posture, really. You take your tongue and you press it as hard as you can, right? And
in front of the teeth? Pushing outwards?
Pushing up as much as you can, but really,
isn't that going to mess up your teeth?
No, it's going to straighten them, man.
But I don't press forward on the teeth. That's going to give me some weird horse teeth.
You know that little pocket right below the and the back of the gum?
It's like the, what do they call that? The roof of
your mouth. You want to go right into there, but when you first start, really only, at least I could only get the tip of my tongue in, and then you want to try and get the whole back part of your tongue, these muscles that you sort of feel
up in the rest of the roof?
But they don't really engage at first. It takes a long time.
It's like doing Kegels. You really got to find it.
I think the key is the chewing, though. The mewing is cool, but you just want to go full.
You got to be. We mewing, we chewing.
We're doing
and we do it.
You want to be doing
Yeah.
8 to 12 hours of carrots, celery, and
Can we
don't
just rebrand
grind
this as-
your ginger, don't grind your turmeric. You just
Yeah.
want to go right at it.
So, but then how do you use that for like?
ginger?
Yeah, well, how do you use that for like spices or whatever? If that's the case, are you just roasting
you
everything?
pre-chew and then
Yeah.
you spit it out.
No.
into the pot.
Well, you like roast your potatoes and your meat and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when you put the spoonful in your mouth, you just
You-
from
no,
this
you
side
don't,
you
dude.
take the
No,
bite.
you don't.
Yeah.
And you make the salad each time in your mouth, or you make the spice mix each time.
What are you eating there? Just a little mouse salad with my potatoes.
Putting the
Exactly.
crunch in every single meal.
Just doing my mouth kegels. No worries.
Well, that's good.
Wow.
Well, I can tell your jaw is looking more and
can't.
more
I
defined
can't.
than the last time. I'm sure anybody who's watching from home is going to be like,
That
"Oh
was
wow,
like-
it's impressive how much
Side
more
profile.
defined it is."
You don't have
Yeah,
no.
I'm at this point where like I don't know what my jaw looks like anymore.
No.
My beard has
Yeah.
become like amorphous. I can like
almost there.
Well, so Becca once, actually on multiple occasions, we've been like in bed or sitting down, and she's reached over and just grabbed my chin, and then just sort of put her fingers around, just kind of
where
measuring,
is it?
and then she was just like, "Keep it."
damn. I mean, she could just look at Dylan.
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
To the beard or
She
to
was
the
conf-
jaw?
To the beard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, keep the beard is what she's trying to say. I think the big thing is that she's a sculptor, so she knows, like, she can tell those
She
sort
can
of
feel
things.
it.
I thought she was saying she was looking at a clean shaved face and saying, "We're gonna have to work this out. We're gonna need some better definition here."
Yeah.
I
Take
do
you
get I
under
do
the
get
knife.
beard criticism all the time
Really?
from my wife.
From you. Really?
Yeah, she'll sit there and she'll just be like, "I think you should take a little bit off here, just go through a whole thing." For
then
you,
give
I
her
mean,
the- give her the
it's obvious
scissors,
you're getting no criticism on that puppy.
My wife is very supportive, though.
Yeah.
I'm personally, I don't think the beard is a good look. I think it just looks like, I don't know, wildly unprofessional. But
Well,
I've
you
come
work from
so-
home.
Yeah,
I know, that's why I'm
world.
getting away with it. I've come so
you're putting
far,
the
dude.
wild
I can't,
and wildly under professional.
like, this is a year, dude. Guys, where could 2 years take me? 3 years? Like, I have to know. There's enough men out there who wish they could grow facial hair that if I don't continue Jamie and back, dude, he's going to look up the percentages real quick of
Yeah.
the
At
men
some
who
point-
desire facial hair in America. And I can't let them down by shaving.
That's true. At some point, I think you're just going to be drawn into the priesthood. They're just going to,
Yeah.
someone will mistake you.
Yeah, well,
at some
it's
like
point,
you
and
look
you're
like an
just-
Orthodox.
It's going to be a long
like very
con.
Franciscan
You're going to run
these
with
days.
it.
well, so either you are in the priesthood or wizardhood. One of those, those two happens.
Have you guys heard this? And maybe this is the next thing Jamie looks up, is that I think your beard can only grow so long. I've heard
Okay.
there's like a maximum distance.
yeah.
You know,
Because of supports?
I just don't know how long. And it doesn't make sense because how would your hair know how long it's grown and it would break out? But anyway,
Well-
I was telling Heather this, and she's like, "Well, what about like Santa Claus and Gandalf?" And I was like, "Heather, they're not real." I was like,
Wait, what?
And she was like, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've seen photos of guys who've got stuff down to their like belly
Yeah.
and stuff, but this
Yeah.
is all like 19th century. Maybe, like seed oils or whatever, like the stuff we're eating nowadays. It prevents you from
Is this
growing a
what
longer
are
beard.
you going to bring in like
The
some
next hot topic.
Yeah. It's actually about
knowledge.
having antediluvian beards.
Polyunsaturated
1 in 5 men.
fats are not
1 in 5
foods.
Oh, wow, this is great. 1 in 5 men would give up sex for a full year to get the perfect beard.
Damn, dude.
No.
I don't think 1 in 5 men are having sex.
No, they're not. So, it's like, yeah, I can give it up.
Easy.
Easy. Man. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's an interesting thing because it's a very much a commitment oriented thing, but also, I mean, because there's a lot of phases when you grow a beard. And like everybody who's grown one has gone through this, where initially it sucks.
Yeah, I'm over like the weird awkward phase.
Yeah.
I'm just in. It's just like
No,
big
I think you're
now.
kind of you're. There's going to be another weird awkward phase.
so.
Yeah, because as it gets more and more unruly, that's going to be the case. Because you don't even trim yours, right?
Not really. No,
Yeah.
I do comb it. I trim it once in a while if it gets weird.
Do guys normally take off the outgrowth on the side, the wings?
Chad took off mine actually.
He took off your
out. I think
wings?
he
Yeah,
took
he
off
did.
too much, but
Oh, whoa.
no, nothing against.
I also-
that.
That was
shaved your
the
head for free.
temptation when you're growing out hair. You wanted to chop off these wings, and I
Yeah.
did it for months. And then I realized, you know what? At some point, you just
You're like-
got to bite the bullet.
You said,
because
"How am I
it
going to
just
fly without those
recurs."
wings?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you just
How am I
gotta
gonna spread my
power
wings?
through.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, this is a good equivalency to discuss. What is it like? What's that journey like for the long hair?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Do you remember sophomore year? Me?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you before that. I've only ever known you with long hair.
That was good. Just I was the
I
guy
blocked out the
that
bad
was
part.
wearing beanies in September and
Yeah.
May
So-
in Saga, and it was like you don't want to
I've
see
done
what's
this a
under
million
there. I
times,
know
though.
this is trashy, but you
Yeah.
don't want to see it.
Yeah.
For a year, you have to do that.
That's commitment. I tried to grow out my hair and I could never. There's one time when I was like 18 where I got past and like hit like shoulder length felt
Yeah.
long, but I never went all the way because it's just like so. It's so bad.
So the thing is,
for like a year.
I guess I'm 1 in 5 because I just don't have the hair to grow. So.
You can do it.
Becca, we're gonna have to abstain for a minute. I've heard there's a magic ritual.
I heard there's a magic ritual
to make your hair grow.
Yeah, no, I think actually that's a totally
you have to
different situation.
retain semen in order to grow hair?
Semen retention?
All your hair protein goes out. He's not producing enough protein in his body.
Is that what you guys are getting at?
I
think that's why I'm losing my hair.
Sometimes I log into Twitter and they're like, "You guys, you need to retain semen." I'm just like,
here's
done.
what you don't know.
Bye.
If you just
Not
do,
gonna do
if
that.
you do regular Kegels, that will increase protein growth, and your hair will start to grow back.
That's true. Actually, all it's
What's
about.
a Kegel?
Oh, you don't know?
It's
what
like
this is?
mewing, but for your loins.
Yeah, you don't know this?
It's mewing for your loins.
So you're supposed to. It's an exercise.
Yeah, this is a family
primarily.
content. Moms are watching this.
Yeah, it's primarily for women after they've given birth.
Amber earmuffs.
They need to do this a lot, but like pelvic floor therapy is a structure. But like you basically clench your entire lower self.
It's actually supposed to protect against like pelvic cancer in various forms.
And then also it means that when you're old, you don't get incontinence.
Yeah.
I wonder. I mean, when you like put on your belt to do a deadlift and you force all the air down, I wonder if is that similar? Is that what you're doing?
No. I could describe it like I can do. I mean, you can do a Kegel. It's geez. I mean, how far can we go with this? It's just mewing for your loins, dude. I'll get you off here.
Yeah,
Okay?
you just gotta pressure your tongue.
I mean, honestly, though,
I'm 100%
if there's
into
anyone who
this.
should be doing Kegels, it's all the moms on the show. Like, it's really good. It helps women not
Dude, look,
get,
I'm
like,
sure they
ovarian
know.
cancer.
You're not the first one telling me
Hey, dude,
this.
you know when like you're like you're going number 1 and you like cut off the stream?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like you train the muscle.
Yeah.
Is that a good practice to
No, it is.
regulate control?
You're supposed to do it when you drive.
Non-stop. Yeah. There's lots of things like because you're not doing
Why
anything
am I
else.
peeing when I'm driving?
You don't pee when you drive, dude.
No.
You don't have the bottle.
You should see my
I've
car,
tried
dude.
that several times. I cannot open the gates.
Yeah. See,
Impossible.
In my-
I think I would rupture before I open the gates, honestly.
in my mind, that's like
It's liberating.
well, it's like it's a mental
I know.
thing.
No, the bourgeois constrictions just have me down. It's like, why can't I urinate?
You have to be a
I
real
need to return to the
working
state of
class
nature.
There's
man.
nothing
You do.
like
Yeah.
urinating into a monster can and
No.
just ripping it out the window as you drive through the desert in New Mexico. It's one of my favorite
Man,
feelings.
and you just really surprise a
Dude,
lizard.
oh man, let me tell you guys a quick story. This
Yeah.
is when I was a less than savory individual. I'm very savory now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a mouse salad.
You're like
I'm
beef
that
bullion.
savory. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like 20. I was like 21. 20. I was 21. I was
Yeah.
just turning 21. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was 20. I might not have been 21 yet. I was driving out to California, and I was going to see my good buddy Brian Schoen, shout out in New Mexico.
Nice.
Land of enchantment. And so I drove down there, and then I was headed out to California where I was going to live with some buddies. Taking some time off school. And I had a car, and I had devised this like really wild idea of what the American road laws were. And I had come like to the idea
That there's
or the
no laws on
conclusion-
the road?
No, there are laws, but really what they are is you can just treat them like a membership club. Okay, so basically,
So
like,
get naked in the showers.
you go really fast, right? And eventually you're
Yeah.
gonna get pulled over. Not every time you go fast, right? In fact, maybe you'll get pulled over. Let's just say you are a habitual speeder. Maybe 3 times a year you get pulled over. You pay a couple $100. Essentially what you did is you paid for the premium road pass. You paid $500 and you get to drive faster than other people.
It's the
And I was
easy
like,
pass. Yeah.
Like, this is
The
genius.
West
And
Coast
there's
easy
like
pass.
there's like tier membership ratings. If you pay
Yeah,
enough, they take away your license, you go to jail. You get that is an all expense paid vacation. Dude. You don't have to worry about food, nothing. Like you cash in those points. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, speeding is it's there for the people who want to take it. You know, you have to earn it. Okay.
You're just blasting Deep Purple, just going through New Mexico.
And so here's the thing: is like especially in the West Coast, or not even the West Coast, but just like the American West, like highways, west of the Mississippi are much more just like these straight rides.
Yeah.
Like on the East Coast, highways are like old carriage trails. They wind. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
When you go out west, it's just like they're like, we're just gonna go straight
Thank you,
from one city
Eisenhower.
to another. Yeah. It's normally awful, but that means you can see things coming far away.
Yeah.
And there are in a lot of states just like these little pull-off areas where cops come, and oftentimes they're actually like in Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. They're denoted by these little like blue stickers on the posts, which is like they're pretty visible, so you can actually see from far away places where cops could be right coming up. So I was like, this is awesome. You go like 120 to like 140. And I was like a man. It was really stupid. I was like a man. I was like
you driving like 6th gear?
yeah, like I was like an automatic, like it was
What were you driving?
a Toyota Solera, which is
140 to Solera.
Yeah, dude, like it was maxed out. No, it was really bad for the engine.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like the little it's like the convertible version.
Dude,
of
is
the
your phone
Camry.
ringing on the Bruin Trust right now?
Sorry about that.
That's the smartest thing I heard. No. So anyway,
I answered it.
you go crazy fast. Yeah, they put them on.
You're on the Brain Trust.
No, that's got to be a scam.
I've been getting a lot of scam calls recently.
Yeah, I had one that pretended like I was. Sometimes they do scam calls where they fish you just to see if you'll answer a scam call.
Yeah.
And I answered one of those today. And the guy's like, "Is Vera there?" And I said, "No." And it's like, "Oh, no need to leave a message. Bye." And I was like, "Crap."
So
The
now
next
they're
couple
going to
of
call
days-
you 3 days.
Yes, exactly. This was the
Over
signal
and
flare.
over.
Yeah. So anyway, so you're driving down. You're going
anyway,
140 at a Toyota
and
Solara.
here's the thing, though, is because really the only places you can turn and like get from one highway to the other because they're divided highways is those like pull offs. So
Yeah.
you not only know when the next one's coming up, you know when the last one was.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can really kind of gauge like I'm safe to speed here, and then you're going up a hill, you can slow down.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm just like going up, slowing down all the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
through New Mexico, making great time. I'm going about 120, not too far outside of Carlsbad in New Mexico, and cop car comes over a hill on the other side. So it's a divided highway. There's like this patch in between. I'm like ripping it, just
Yeah, yeah.
passing cars. He comes over as soon as he skirts the hill. Lights are on, like immediately. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think you had to check the radar. Like it was obvious. Right?
Yeah.
And I know he was cresting a hill coming, towards me. I was going over. I was like,
Yeah.
he's about to lose visibility. I know where the last, pullover was. It's a
Yeah,
ways
yeah.
back. And there's like a big ditch. Like he's gonna have to go to the pullover to get on my side and come down. I was like,
Yeah.
I think I can lose him. Dude. So I kick it up like all the way. We're at 140 in Betsy, dude, the Solera. Go over the hill. I pull over right in front of some cars and I take like the next exit. I
Yeah.
hop right off the exit, drive into the middle of the desert, God knows where. And I was like, I think I lost him. Like I think we're good.
Yeah.
I pull onto this sketchy back road outside of like the city, and there's like a bunch of like kids driving by, like clearly smoking pot and stuff. Like
Yeah.
this is just like sketch alley, I was like, this is where the kids come. So I pulled over. I'm lost. I was like, I'm gonna pull out my phone. So I get out my phone to look for where I'm going. I light up a cigarette, and a cop car comes driving down the street, and I was like, damn, dude, like they caught me sitting ducks. They have to know it's me.
Yeah.
And the dude pulls up.
And they got the stoners.
No, Stoners come by. Dude pulls up and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Just play it cool." Because here's the thing: it was a new car and I hadn't gotten license plates on, so
Yeah.
there were no plates. It was just that thing in the back of the
Were you
car.
living in New Mexico?
No, dude, it wasn't exactly
Just
legal,
driving.
But, like, listen, I was
Were you
just
living
trying to get
anywhere
there.
at this point?
No, I was trying to get somewhere.
He was making the 140 mile. He was doing the extreme premium package where not only do you
Yeah.
pay for going
don't pay
140,
for
you pay
license,
for
yeah.
avoiding the cops.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but
Is
here's
that
the thing.
illegal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
You need to have it.
I mean, if this
you have
guy's-
like a 30-day grace period, and I was like behind on
You
it.
can
I was gonna get it
outrun
done.
the cops for 30 days?
No. That is.
That's what he was saying. No,
patently
it's not.
Okay,
Evading the cops
if
is
he's
a.
not having
going
a
the
license
opposite
plate.
direction, you like think, oh man, maybe he's coming for me, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's some
No,
pot
he's coming. He was
smokers off
coming
the
for me.
highway.
No,
Yeah.
he was coming for me.
So this
It
guy
was
comes
good.
up to your car and he says,
He comes up. He's like, "What's
are you
going
doing in
on
town,
here?"
Pilgrim?
And I said, I just pulled over. To put in my friend's address. I'm not from around here. I'm just trying to find where he lives." He goes, "You pulled over just to look up your friend's address?" I said, "Yeah, I don't use my phone when I drive." and he gives me a thumbs up. And he says, "Good job," and he drives off.
Was it the same cop car?
No,
you
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Did he give you a little badge, a little star?
He just gave me like a little thumbs up. He's like-
Honorary
he's
New
like,
Mexican
"Good
deputy."
job," and he drives off. That was it. Like, didn't
man.
ask any
Young
questions.
Deputies
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah,
Here's a cap gun 6-shooter.
yeah, that's
Go
awesome,
wild.
man.
And then I threw a urine can out the window.
At the cop,
So anyway,
you're
don't
like,
do
"Oh,
that.
this day is going too well. This day is going
This
too
was
well."
pre-marriage, pre-child, I assume.
Well, yeah, I was like 20, dude.
yeah, definitely.
This was like
okay,
almost a
okay.
decade ago.
Yeah,
Oof.
I
I
try to
hit-
follow traffic laws now.
yeah,
My first ever car that I owned, of course drove my mom's minivan.
hit it.
yeah.
Monte Carlo, it was a 98, I think. And I hit 110 on North Territorial Road, suburban Canton, Michigan.
Yeah.
Pushing.
And you get like a mile in between lights in these places. And it was
Yeah.
like 4 a.m. Oh, I thought the car was going to break down. The scariest moment of my life.
Oh, it just like started like shaking.
Yeah, just shaking
Yeah.
violently. I was like, well, it's just going to fall apart. We're all going to die. And
I guess I can't put the brakes on. I guess I couldn't slow down.
oh, my second car,
Yeah.
96 Buick Regal, was just taking it, 40 miles an hour down the road to school one day. brakes cut.
Yeah.
Wasn't familiar with the idea of an
Someone was
emergency
trying to
brake.
assassinate you.
Yeah.
I think so. No, they weren't.
political
they,
rival,
They just
perhaps.
rusted through apparently.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
that can
I
happen,
just
yeah.
I just started turning everywhere I could turn until the car slowed down, and I just eventually hit into a curb and it stopped. But then my parents were like, "Well, you have an emergency brake," and I was like, "Oh, a what?
It's in case of what?
In case
Was that an emergency?
that was for parking.
What's an emergency? When do you use
Well,
this?"
some people call it a parking brake.
I didn't want to like overuse 911.
Yeah.
Like you have a bellyache, you're like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." It's
My
like,
car
this
will
an-
not
Is this
brake.
an
Yeah.
emergency?
Yeah, my our first car was a Volvo V70, and me and my brother were driving it together to school one morning, and we had an improv show that night, so we were kind of like getting hyped, right?
So cool,
Yeah,
guys.
it's the coolest kids who ever lived.
We were just smashing a couple monsters and
Yeah.
getting ready.
So we're driving. It's like 6, 7 a.m. because it's like public school, so you got to get there at the crack of dawn. We're going through the back roads of Washington, and I remember this really distinctly. We're listening to the alternative radio station, and
Of course.
Imagine Dragons, "I Bet My Life" is playing, which rough. And
Was that like your hype song though?
it was a song, and my brother turned it up because my sister was talking too loud, so he turned it up. And the night before, there was a storm, so there was just sticks and leaves and stuff in the road. He hits a corner, and right as the chorus hits, I bet my life.
I don't know the song, but yeah.
we take this corner, and
JD
there's
likes it.
we go over a hill, which makes sense. We go over a hill, and there's just a whole tree in the road.
Nice.
And our lights missed it. We hit it full speed and we jump it.
No.
Yeah,
dude.
the drive shaft just gets knocked right through the
Oh,
car.
I wish Drive
Just
Shaft
falls
was
out?
playing.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
it didn't fall out. It just like punctured the trunk apparently.
Comes up through your legs.
Yeah. Wow. So we hit the ground, and the first thing I yell is, "Son of a bitch, get out of the car!" And I'm like, I don't know what road we're on, so I just take off down the road.
How do you not know what road you're on? I said you were driving to school.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just had like a little.
I'm
you had
not
to do some
really. I'm
backwards
not really a
driving.
road guy. You could just name
I
a
do
road.
directions.
Yeah, I do just do directions. Anyway, so I just took off running, and my siblings just lost
Which
their
direction?
mind. Just
North.
yeah.
Are you worrying about missing the bell? What's
No,
your
I was-
thought
I was
process?
trying-
here?
Gotta
Yeah.
get to class.
I was running.
I got
to
bio
try,
first hour. I
Yeah.
can't miss.
I was running to see if I could find the street sign and then call 911,
Okay.
and I could say we're on this road, right? But my siblings thought I had lost my mind.
like, dude.
They're like, Shad, what are you doing? I'm like, son of a bitch! And I start running, down the road, just typing 911 on my flip phone as I'm running down the street. But yeah, my sister feigned an injury. And got
out of school?
Got an ambulance ride out of it, and cost my
good call,
parents a few grand.
Oh, ouch.
Oh man, yeah, it was
Why is she
wild.
fake an injury?
Would you?
Well,
thi-
she knows
is that
she
an
was
tested
emergency? Do you
biology,
think?
too.
I mean, you just jumped a tree. You feel like that was a proper use of 911?
Well, yeah, because we'd blocked the road at
You
that
should have
point.
used your emergency brake.
Yeah, it's true. The emergency
What are you
brake would have made
doing?
it different.
Well, that's what you do after you have again an accident. You
sure
pull it
that's an
up and they come
emergency.
for you.
Yeah. Well, so but the thing was is that
What qualifies as an emergency for you?
I'm not
What
Did
is
you
a
guys
vehicular
hear about this
emergency?
Colorado case with the truck driver?
no.
He was going down a hill and his brakes, I guess, were cut or not working. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened. And they have
It's,
these.
it's a frequent occurrence. That's why they have off ramps.
Right, they have these
like,
off ramps, and I guess he didn't used it improperly.
He was like,
He's like, I can make it,
I've
guys.
been hauling for 20 years.
I can make it.
yeah.
Have you guys driven in like
problem.
Colorado mountains? Like those are some.
No, it's
those are
insane.
some steep. And
I mean,
it's like edge. Like you
Yeah.
can go off the mountain. I know. I went 120 down them. In my Toyota Solara.
No, it's horrifying. But
Yeah.
I think he killed maybe 3 or 5 people, and he got like
jeez.
100 years in prison.
Wow.
And apparently,
Rest in
his
peace.
worker. What are those laws called? Workers, not compensation.
Workers' rights. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Employee protections that other
Workers
people
don't have
have
rights.
don't exist for truckers.
Especially for independent contractors.
Oh, maybe
But
that's
I-
what it
I-
is.
Oh, yeah, that-
Maybe
I mean,
not
yeah.
unionized. So
Well,
they
yeah.
gave him 100 years, and I'm pretty sure what's their governors there? Jared something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Jared-
matter.
You lived there for like last year.
Cooper? I don't know.
yeah.
Dude, I know.
Colorado. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
But he
Jared
pardoned him, and I
Sorensen.
They pardoned him.
I thought
yeah.
that's interesting because you have to by law use these off ramps, and he didn't. Did he
Yeah.
earn the pardon? But then you think of other
Why did
professions
he-
that kill people, and no one.
Pardoned? He's like, he's like, hey, listen, I would have done the same thing. It's cool. I would have tried to make it too. Like,
Yeah.
I can totally understand.
I don't know. You see it from the perspective. Like there was that nurse in Britain or doctor in Britain who gave too much of that seizure medicine.
Oh yeah,
But that's a mistake. This guy made a conscious choice where he's like, I'm gonna not use the.
I don't think.
Or was it an accident?
Well, he said he was just under pressure and just made the wrong decision. But that doctor's not going to get any time in prison.
Well, that's because they have insurance apparatuses that protect them.
Right, but that just seems like, okay,
that,
you're working class, you kill someone, you're going to prison for 100 years. You're upper class, you kill someone.
Warfare.
It really...
If you...
It's more like tax bracket warfare. Like you're like a 1095 miss, so you are not actually like...
You're actually more likely to die in a hospital because of a nurse giving you improper medicine than you are to die of almost literally anything else.
Trucks going off ramps.
Since we've been in the hospital, I mean, we correct them every single step. No, no one ordered that. We never talked to a doctor about that. We come back, oh yeah, we had the wrong room number. So sometimes they scan this tag for really important things. Like if they're going to cut you open, they'll scan your tag. Sometimes they just start pumping stuff in.
How hard can it be to scan?
It's not hard. They turn you into like a Kroger checkout line. You got one of these barcodes, and they take the scanner gun and boop. Yes, I've received this medicine.
I've gotten it a couple of times. I like to, I know this is kind of a backtrack in some ways, but I like to imagine the trucker getting 100 years in prison, and he's like, "Oh man,
I'm gonna outlive it and get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I
will truck again."
Well, he's sitting there. And he's like, "Great, no death penalty, awesome." But he's sitting in his cell, right? And his cellmate comes back from the yard or whatever. He's like, "Didn't see you out in the yard. What you doing?" And he's just sitting there with a broom stand,
just trucking
and looking out the window, just going. I gotta get to Cincinnati by 6, man.
Nothing's changed.
It's literally the same thing.
You know that kid Malcolm in the Middle who thinks he's riding a motorcycle all the time? That's what I picture.
It's basically driving a truck, but with somehow more meth. somehow. Man.
So you think that's the right call? Pardon? No pardon?
More meth.
I don't know. I think that the thing with the pardons, and this is what I've heard, a lot of it's just based off of who's got the loudest family. Yeah. There's usually, maybe it was like a trucker association, or maybe it was a girlfriend or somebody.
Who arbitrates those decisions. I'm not qualified to
It's a tough job.
Some of the family members said lock him up forever, and some said don't.
Well, I wouldn't even know. Was it an accident? Was it dude on meth? Was he drinking? Was it just?
No, just negligence.
Was it an accident?
Negligence.
So what defines as negligence versus just a really terrible mistake?
Or maybe he hadn't been taking care of the truck.
I need some background. I can't decide this. I can't arbitrate this case without knowing.
I think a truck stalls out on these routes.
This is a very similar criminal podcast.
I think this is a frequent occurrence that the trucks stall out. I mean, you think of how many trucks we have on the roads, especially in the West.
Is there a trucker podcast? Like a podcast?
We probably call them up
about
on the
truckers or truckers.
We get a professional opinion on this.
I'm sure. I think there is. I mean, I'm sure they'd want to talk about it.
I know. Let's get trucker law.
Well, the thing is about truckers too is that they're weird because they spend all of their time all day ingesting media. I have it on good authority that a lot of them just watch TV. While they truck? Yeah, they'll just have their phone up or something right next to their face, and they'll watch ancient aliens YouTube videos for 12 hours. And just
at least they're getting good content.
I know, right? Right.
All the other
You'd hate to see them have Nat Geo or History or something on. That'd be terrible.
They've got a full Gaia subscription. You guys know what Gaia is?
Oh, I don't.
I get the ads for it every time. You haven't been awakened to full consciousness, and those are the only 4-minute ads I ever watched. I'm like, all right, I gotta take the plunge into this.
Full consciousness looks like.
Yeah, there's a paid streaming service, and I saw this one where they just had this dopey white guy. He looked like me, just with thick rimmed glasses and no beard, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Jason Brandonson." I don't remember his name. He's like,
Jasonson,
the leading expert in esoteric magics. With my course, with a Gaia subscription, you too can become a master of the esoteric fathers and esoteric magics. And you're like, what? I'm not going to trust this guy. First off, no beard, obviously not a wizard, as we previously established. But also, it's like, what the heck? Who's sitting there just being like, yeah, man, I'm going to pay Gaia subscription because we can all, I indulge every once in a while in a insanely screwed up YouTube video that's 4 hours long, and it's Yakub created white people sort of stuff, but well,
he did.
Yeah. the evil scientist Yakub, I know, on the island of Patmos made white people.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know about
this is Black Israelites.
No, it's the foundation of Black Islam was the.
Sorry, Black Islam. Yeah, I'm sorry, Black Israelites. That was super. That's not
I'm sure the Israelites also believe this. Though.
I was just reading about Nat Turner today. You know this guy? The only slave rebellion in the United States. Just learned about this. Also, just heard about this Ursuline convent. Sorry, this is totally off topic.
Yeah.
In South Carolina.
Is this are we getting into your whale? It's been long enough, dude.
I am reading about early 19th century America. Protestantism is not okay at this time.
There's some wild things happening.
Yes.
It's not good stuff. Some satanic stuff. Made me really think maybe the American Revolution was more of a French Revolution because they're just immediately going to burning down convents.
I actually really want to like hear from you about this because I have some real like questions about like the American Revolution, and I feel like I'm not gonna get
This
into it.
this is the brain trust. We are here
So
to
I'm making
decide.
it way too serious. Let's get back to truckers.
Well, truckers are like the American. I don't know. I just like I live in this like, and we live in a town in like a part of the country where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I stand for the cross, I kneel for the flag, baby. Like, watch out, you know.
It's the other way. It's the other way around.
Backwards.
You're not genuflecting for the cross.
Yeah, yeah.
My goodness.
Oh, my bad. It's backwards. You
Yeah.
know, you get it right. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, and like, there's just like, it's weird. I feel like I like America as a country. I think it's a cool place. I'm down
Yeah.
to be here. I think it's very interesting. But like, there's things I want to point out, like criticisms of it. And like, if you criticize a country, like you're not a patriot. Yeah, you don't love America. And then it quickly becomes like you're a communist, aren't you? It's like, well, I just have some questions about the
Slightly.
founding. You know,
Yeah. I mean, that's
it escalates really quickly.
it does. Yeah, but the thing is that once you start to kind of move into legitimate scholarly criticisms in that whole world, and all of a sudden the shades, it stops being you're a communist, and it just starts being other more specific isms.
Yes.
You're just accusing. You're like, you're just a Straussian.
You
You're just a
Trotskyist?
Straussian. You know? And you're like, what script did we just lose?
What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
knows.
I mean,
No
you
one
should
knows.
know. You have a degree in knowing what a Straussian
I
is.
have a degree in that.
Yeah.
That's true. I do know
Enlighten
about
us.
that.
Yeah.
You want to know what a Straussian is?
This is you probably do you have to take,
Followers of Leo Strauss.
there you go.
No, but no one at Hillsdale Straussian. Everyone is Jaffa followers.
Harry.
Harryans, something like that.
Harry Jaffa.
Aryans.
Because they do this whole genealogy, and then if you learn from the person who learned from the person, you belong to them, and
Yeah.
they own your ideas. Very silly.
Oh man,
No,
we're all
but
Platonists.
Yeah,
We didn't know
yeah.
it.
This is a
the
followers of Paul.
cults, the
situation.
Protestant cults in
Yeah.
the early 19th century were bad.
They were off the chain, man.
They were pretty weird,
Yeah.
but the mainline Protestantism in the early 19th century just makes you wink a little bit. Like, what were these guys into?
guys?
Lots of talk about inner light, and you're going to come to full perfection and salvation. So we got some like good Orthodox Catholic, the progress towards sainthood,
Yeah.
but in social and economic terms, and not really in
Well,
sort
like
of
the prosperity
spiritual
gospel is like a wild concept that's distinctly American too.
It's
You
a
know?
precursor to that, I think.
So when you say
yeah.
early 19th
You're
century,
talking 1800s.
early
Yeah, and
1800s, yeah.
1900s is very much like when prosperity gospel goes like full stage, you know, and it's like
well, yeah, a little bit later there, but like that's just kind of the rumblings of progressivism, right?
Right, which at Hillsdale, the narrative is always, we were solid till 1880, man.
right,
Reconstruction was
right.
great, everything was good, and then I look back and thought, no, actually progressivism was there really from the very start.
Can we
in
talk
a lot
about
of ways.
Alexander Hamilton real quick? Thoughts on him? Takes on him? I think I hate him. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
I'm not a big fan of the Bank of the United States, but I've-
Also, just like blatant, like, you know, industrialism. Like, he was like opposed to agrarianism. He wanted to industrialize America.
Yeah,
like,
well, so
immediately.
we should all be on the farm.
Yeah, you can be opposed to agrarian. You shouldn't be opposed to agrarianism, but that doesn't mean you should be a Jeffersonian. I would say.
Well, I'm just I don't know. This becomes like left-right dichotomy. Like,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you a Jeffersonian?
It
Are
doesn't-
you
it's not a left-right
Hamiltonian?
dichotomy, that's
I
the
just
thing.
like don't think I
But-
like Alexander Hamilton.
No,
think I
and
like what
I
he's
mean,
about.
we should have tried to maintain more agrarianism, but also I think part of the resistance to Hamilton actually led to more internationalism instead of nationalism, and there wasn't really
Really? I thought he was into the idea of like we need to create exports, right? We need to be involved in like
Hamilton
international trade. We need to be
was.
an international power. So like
Yeah.
let's mobilize, let's create like industry, and then let's ship everything out.
Exactly right. Hamilton, and then later
Respect.
with Clay and Madison and Monroe, and these guys, they wanted a national market so that you could have the growth
national
of the
bank.
raw materials and the manufacturing and the financial services to incorporate them all under the nation. But the weird thing is that the Jeffersonians, mainly Jackson, who opposed this, you would think, okay, then we're going to restore agrarian virtue, right? No, actually, we're just going to use international markets for manufacturing so that we can get higher prices for the farmers here.
Yeah.
So there was never really a trade-off between national
They were just like, we're gonna
agrarianism.
make as much money off whether it's industry or agrarian. So not even agrarianism, but just like anti-localism at that point almost.
Right.
Like, they were just like, we need to be internationally focused.
I'm more and more convinced there never was an authentic agrarian movement
I got this
in the United States.
great book called American Georgics you should read. It's just like like primary source documents about American Georgics. Well, like your writings about agrarianism. So.
Yeah. I'm getting into Wendell Berry, so I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
have you read
very
you should get on the
radicalized.
Mad Farmer poems if you haven't. He's
Mad
got,
Farmer.
Wendell.
I'll let you borrow. He's got like 15 poems
I would
about
love
this
that.
crazy farmer who like he's like this mythic figure who like goes into town and like digs up concrete parking lots and like he's very like
He's like a Catholic Johnny Appleseed.
well no, not even that. It's like
Not a Swedenborgian.
Who's like
Johnny Appleseed
who's the
Swedenborgian.
like Orion? Like he's
Speaking
like the
about
master of the
19th
woods,
century
like making things grow.
Yeah.
He's plowing fields and people's wives there. It's actually like a little like dirty. Like he's going around like doing crazy stuff.
I don't know if I need more of that in my life. Sometimes Bridget will turn on the fan, and I'm just like, is that necessary? Do we need to be using electricity? Do we need to be on the power grid right now? So I don't know if I want to encourage
Are you
that.
in the system?
I want to have guilt-free indulgence in my HVAC, you know?
That's true.
I don't want to
That's
have
true.
to like
Look, our
say
HVAC
penance every time I put it on cool.
our
Kids,
HVAC
like,
was
wave a fan.
broke.
You know?
That's why you actually old farmers had so many kids in Virginia and et cetera. It was just for air conditioning.
Yeah.
But no, I remember. So our HVAC broke the other week, and I mean, when you're on it, being off of it is the worst thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
You can't sleep, etc.
Really?
Like, so a friend of mine, Nick Rowan, actually former, show guest, is in Britain right now.
Sorry, I want to talk at some point.
They don't do much
I don't
AC
like Nick
in
Rowan's
Europe,
takes
do
on
they?
America, dude. I love the beginning. I was like, Nick's having a great episode, and then he started this East Coast elitism, talking about the real America.
I do want to say though,
Nick, come out here, dude. Let's interview, dude.
I think Nick Rowan had a big influence, not necessarily on his specific opinions, but when I met him, I was like, this is what post-ideology looks
No,
like.
yeah.
Now, it's ridiculous. I have no idea what Nick believes
Nick
about
is a man,
anything.
Nick is a man who's ridiculous on purpose, and I
No,
was
I
like
know.
really enjoying the first half, and then he's like, but I don't know where the line is. I was like, he might mean what he's saying. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Nick, I think, really genuinely means what he says, but he also
Sometimes.
he's functionally, and I don't think in a belief spectrum, but like functionally, he's nihilist. Like in the way that he operates in a
You're
political
You're saying he
sphere.
doesn't believe in America?
Well, no. One time,
maybe not.
one time, someone asked him in the Collegian office, "Are you conservative? What's your political ideology?" He said, "I'm Catholic."
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
that's a
I'm
possibility.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's interesting. It
Yeah,
had a
my
big
response
effect on
there.
me.
Anyway, but right now he's kicking it in Britain. They're going through the biggest heat wave they've had in British history. The hottest in recorded
It's
temperature.
because Nick Rowan came to
Yeah,
the
it's
country.
'cause Nick
too. What's
Rowan's
up, baby?
there.
Brought
And
the
he's
heat.
still wearing seersucker
Yeah,
every
he's still wearing
day.
salmon pants and Sperry's.
Yeah, but so I told him, I said, okay, what do you think of Britain? He said, well, it's cool. The women drink beer here. And I was like, okay, that is cool. And then he said, but first off, it's insanely hot. But at this point, he said, you get used to it, and it's not really a problem anymore. He did do a thing where he did a whole summer in DC without cooling of any sort. Call it no AC DC. He turned off his fans. He turned off his
That's
AC.
great.
I like that he's part
Yeah.
of the radical environmental movement.
You should have talked
He's
to
an
him.
eco-terrorist, didn't you know?
Nice.
Yeah, you should talk to him about this.
Ecofascism. They've got something going there.
You should talk to him though, because at one point,
Talk about that too.
his wife woke up in the middle of the night. They were like naked, drenched in sweat. They were just like, I can't survive anymore. And she fell down, or she, in a haze, went to the basement, grabbed the AC unit, and attempted to bring it back upsters, and then just dropped it.
Wait. Did it
And
work?
I,
The window?
dropped it like on the
Oh,
stairs.
okay,
And,
yeah.
just crashed, and then was just weeping at the foot of
wait.
He wrote about this. This is
But
public.
this was all Nick
Right.
saying the AC could work, but we're not going to use it. This was his.
Yeah. So this was him
They're
just being like,
conscientious objectors.
yeah, this was him being a conscientious objector, and they're like, okay, it's okay, we can use a fan.
City's the worst place to do that, though, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, but so he
Depends
said,
how long you can stand purgatory for.
good thing about Britain, the women drink beer. Bad thing, he said that his coworker was wearing a Washington Redskins cap, and two guys who couldn't string sentences together walked over and attempted to like kiss him because they love the Washington Redskins so much. These two drunk British guys. And he said,
Why would they
seems
care
like
about that?"
things are going wrong in Britain right now.
I thought they cared
team's all
about
mixed up.
soccer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
well,
are they calling now?
Commanders.
The
yeah.
Commanders?
Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
They should have gone Comanches.
Command.
Talk about early 19th century drama.
Yeah, but
man.
that's not a good region though for Comanches.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the plains.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if you were just like, we're the Iroquois?
Choctaws? What were the ones in that area? Cherokees?
I'm not super familiar with the
That was more
ancestral lands.
Tennessee.
I think they were Jeffersonian.
They
in
no.
their,
As you show, we didn't do a land acknowledgement when the show started, so like I'm not super aware.
I don't even know. Do you guys know the name of the tribe that was here? I can't even remember it.
here in Michigan?
Potawatomi? That sounds right.
The Iroquois Nation was sort of this general Northeast sort of.
Yeah.
That's more East Coast.
That's a little too far.
Are you telling me that Michigan's not the East Coast, dude?
I just learned.
Let's slow down. Let's walk it back.
I just learned that the Creeks had a written constitution. They
Yeah.
had a real government going in northern Georgia and what would that be? Southern
You saying
Kentucky.
recently?
No. In like 1827, I think they
yeah.
wrote their constitution. So I just thought they were running around. Apparently, they were doing normal
They had,
life
you know,
stuff.
like civilization.
Civilization.
Sometimes we don't talk about the civilization.
And then we
Gosh.
still said, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Not that nicely.
Manifest Destiny was a wild thing, man. You know,
Okay, no, back to that question. There was no real agrarian movement, and part of the reason was we expanded way too quickly. There was too much
Dude,
land.
This is my whole thing with like the success of America as a whole. Is like I think a lot of people are like, you know, America is the perfect example of like unbridled capitalism. Like it works, you know. And I think regardless of the economic system that was in play in America, just the pure abundance of resources in land and space. And the technological stage we were at, like as a people moving westward, like you were guaranteed to be successful no matter what.
Well, there's this added element too that a lot of people don't talk about, which is that the frontier has always been, and this is in every culture that's had a frontier. A good example would be Russia as well. Steam valve, right?
Yeah.
If you're not vibing with what's going on, you just go.
You just leave. Yeah,
you just
go.
leave. You go to the frontier. You start your
tight.
own thing. You kind of build your own, cultures, your own structures, and then eventually everything catches up with you. But until then, at least there's that stopgap. How
do you guys feel about
the Mormons? Famously started their own country in Utah, and
Well,
they were
now
like,
they have their own planets too, and they're not sharing.
Exactly.
Like, they have so many options.
well, so this is the thing: is I don't know, space somewhere. We
How
are
do
a
you feel
frontier.
about Mars? Like space cowboys? Are you guys in? Are you out? Like,
I'm all about, we got to get out of here for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta.
We have to have a frontier for
We have to
humans
go where
be
there
okay.
is no AC. You know?
That's true too. There
We
is
have to
no
go.
AC on
There's
Mars.
currently no
But
AC
there
on Mars.
are
Well,
jet fuel.
I mean, we
laden,
haven't even made it to the moon yet. We have centuries.
You're right.
to go.
You're right.
We are not even close.
I was
I
watching
can't
this
believe they have
video.
this Musk robot going around talking about going to the Mars. Like,
Yeah.
can't even get to the
We know we
moon.
haven't been
Yeah, I was watching this video today about how in 1932 the British were like the only scientific community in the world that was like, we can do the moon. They're like, that's it, we're going to the moon.
What year?
What? When?
In 1932.
Okay.
And so there was a society that got started with all these scientists who were like, we're going to game out going to the moon and then like get the government to do this for us. And they were like, it's only going to cost $10 million. We're going to get the moon for
cool
$10 million.
cool 10.
Right? And they're like, okay, we're going to get to the moon for $10 million. And they're like, okay, show us what you got. And they developed essentially just knight's armor, like
that was their
just
spacesuit.
metal knight's armor. And in Britain, they have a replica that they made using like all of their pre-constructed things. And they're like, like literally this could survive on the way that they had it constructed, the way that there's the seals and the oxygen supply and
Would
whatnot. They're
work.
like, you could. The problem is it had bad mobility.
It'd be atmospheric
Yeah.
proof.
It'd be atmosphere proof. It had bad mobility and but based on the technology, because all that a spacesuit is a
It's like a vacuum sort of.
well, it's
deal?
like it's a canvas layer, but with a rubber layer underneath it. So with like a really tough layer, so that it can't expand based on air pressure differences. And so as long as you can kind of create a lack of expansion with air pressure differences, you can just exist. And it's not a pressure thing like going underwater.
Right.
It's more of a security thing when it comes to the rubber not expanding. And the rubber was strong enough at that
and
point.
this is mostly just to
'Cause we have
protect you.
petroleum.
This is to protect your innards for the most part.
Yes,
So that you
from
don't explode.
Exploding.
eventually. Okay.
Yes. And then it also had this thing in it which was hilarious, which it had an airlock where you could you would supposed
For
to
pooping?
No, it wasn't for pooping. You would pick up a rock.
Do you
They didn't
think
get
they
that far.
organic recycle poop in space? This is what we need.
Well,
to-
if you give it long enough, Josh. I don't know.
They
They
actually
have monster cans and things.
Okay, good. Rip them
Yeah.
in.
Whip
Well,
that off the booth.
they do the equivalent actually. They do expel it. They expel the
Okay,
waste.
actually, I changed my mind. Let's not
not
take
going to space.
capitalism
Yeah.
to space. That's an abomination.
We're going
Yeah.
out to the Mars poo-poo farms, dude.
They do
Going out west and
they
working
literally
poop
shoot it
farms.
out the side. I don't know if you ever seen Apollo 13 or whatever the movie about the
They
fail.
don't
put
save it?
it somewhere.
Yeah, no, they shoot it. It just
That's
gets shot
perfect.
out.
That is perfect
you could
nitrogen.
you'd
That's usable.
You'd
Yeah.
be terraforming
Come
with poop
on.
and no sign.
Yeah.
Terraforming Mars should have a poop card.
I wonder if it's
Does
it's a space, if it's a weight thing.
Yeah. No, I think it's almost entirely a weight thing.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. There's no gravity in space. You tell me it's going to weigh down that spaceship?
When you're talking about mass being propelled in any capacity, even in a vacuum, like the amount of mass being propelled depends on...
I thought now here's the thing though,
Once you've
object
reached
in
a
motion,
speed, it's
you
fine.
gotta
But
hit
if they want to
maximum.
speed up or slow down,
You
it's
just
gonna
tell boys like hold it in, we're not there yet. Like, you gotta wait till we break the atmosphere. You cannot go, Johnny. I told you to go before we left the station.
You know those movies where they don't have enough gas, so they have to release some air to get that last little bit on the landing, and they've done it 100
Guys,
times.
can we
You can just
talk?
imagine. He's like, you're gonna have to
talk
poop
real
out the
quick?
side.
You guys know
We need the energy.
Yeah.
the Star Wars movie, it's Star Wars 8, right? The whole premise of the movie is that they're flying through space and they're running out of gas, and there's another ship that's slowly getting close, and the problem is that they don't have enough fuel to stay away, because when the fuel runs out, they'll stop moving, but they're in space, and so you wouldn't stop moving if you didn't have fuel.
Yeah, just be a
Did no one ever
They're
notice
in
that?
hyperspeed. Isn't that different? Are they not in light speed?
No.
No, they're just coasting.
That's also the movie where they reveal that all you need to do to wipe out an
It's the
entire space
hyperspace
fleet
into
is to
someone else.
hyperspace
No,
into
but
it.
it's so like that hyperspace.
Would that be kamikaze?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they said
but
the kamikazes
hyperspace,
in the
like
movie.
you're talking.
That's great.
You're talking about undoing like physics that was established within like the realm of the movie. I'm talking about real physics that actually exists, like real life. Like you wouldn't stop if you had no more.
Yeah, I don't think they
fuel.
ever.
Did no one think
There's also
about that?
sound, so
Did no one think about
I
it?
think
Okay, I was saying we need to
space.
develop a way to just fill space so that we don't have to worry about it. We open a hole in the atmosphere and can we make oxygen? Does anyone know?
we got plants.
Okay, we got plants and we just start letting it out, and eventually there's air
You
everywhere.
just want this like human refuse column that goes up into the air and extends gravity, and then you can have plants kind of come out of that
It's
slowly.
basically a
until
space elevator, but made of human crap.
Human feces.
But
Space
there's
elevator.
also,
You can climb. It's like a Jack and the Beanstalk sort of situation eventually, and you can just keep going.
It's just air all the way up and down.
I think I actually have decided that the real solution is for us to acknowledge that it's not a vacuum, it's a penumbra. And that we live in a Ptolemaic universe, that the moon is like, I don't know, maybe a few thousand feet away.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a couple of miles, right?
Max.
It's a couple of miles max to the moon, and then like Jupiter is like, I mean, it's a 5K, I guess, to get to Jupiter, right? But I mean, that's what Ptolemy had figured out,
And
I
the
think
Earth,
that's
and the Earth is flat.
yeah, the Earth is flat, and you just got to get a good running start. You can get to the moon easy.
That's what I thought you were going to say about the British. Their first idea. Hear me out. They just have like a mile-wide trampoline.
They're like,
I think we can make it, but we're gonna have to get a double bounce, and we're gonna need that fat prime
have to
minister
we're
guy
gonna
to
need
give it
the
to
Irish-
us.
we
or
need,
whatever,
we need
to
the absolute
president,
unit.
whatever.
All right. So we've officially hit over an hour now, so it's time to move into the Patreon. But if you wish to have further issues, I mean, maybe we're going to litigate the revolution
yeah.
in real time with the Brain Trust. This is why you get three guys together who have at least two brain cells between them.
I don't think we talked about anything real this whole time.
I don't know.
Did we solve
Truckers
anything?
are real.
With a question, what did you start with? Why brain?
I was just talking. I invited a homeless man to the podcast and he didn't come, and then it was a good thing you showed up.
I
'cause
mean,
he needed.
that's where the wisdom is at.
I thought
That's
he was
true.
gonna have a lot. He turned it down.
Talk about the homeless problem in Hillsdale.
No, that's
that the
hey,
Patreon, dude?
if you want, if that sounds like it'd be
Josh is
interesting.
like, yeah.
Yeah, let's bring that on. But anyway, thank you for listening. Dylan will be back next week.
Episode
I'm
20.
sorry to say, because
This is what desperation looks
less,
like.
Less brain trust, but I'm sure the brain trust will return. So, see you then.